Long ago, our ancestors said that this black spirit would set out to destroy our people. This black spirit was going to take our people away. It was going to make them forget who they are, where they come from. And it was going to strip all of that knowledge and culture from them, and it wouldn't get passed to the future generations. The more people we lose, the stronger that demon gets. Black demon is an evil spirit that's in the drugs and alcohol.
We're located in Neobit, Wisconsin. We are a 4K early childhood to 8th grade school. Our students here are from the reservation.
At the Student Health Center, in the past it's been referred to as the alternative school, and we don't really like to refer to it as that anymore. It's called the Student Health Center for a reason. We help students in all various situations. There are students here that are struggling with behaviors, students struggling with addictions, alcohol, drug addictions, other things. There are students here for anxiety, and they just can't handle the pressure of everyday life in a normal high school.
Our biggest enemy right now is the fentanyl in the opioid crisis. It is killing our people. What we're seeing now is kids are living, grade school kids are living in this epidemic before we can get to them, get them out of there, get them to safety.
What I want for my kids here is just to be happy and to feel like they belong somewhere. I want them to have that sense of belonging because a lot of them don't have it. And whether it's they don't have it from home or they don't have it from previous school years, I just want them to know that someone cares about them. And if they have nothing else right now, they have me, and then I will be here no matter what.
A lot of my family on my dad's side have had drug problems. Recently, last year, my Auntie Denise had passed away from a drug overdose. It was really hard to cope with that, to see my auntie in her casket and getting taken away and buried. It was really hard to cope with that. And dealing with all of that triggered something inside of me that made me think to myself, what am I doing with my life? Why am I at the place that I am now when I could be somewhere better and actually doing better than what I have noticed and what I've been through?
Alcohol and drugs don't fit with this traditional way of life. They can't. I'm a mother of 3 children. One we adopted when he was 3 weeks old. He had fetal alcohol syndrome. I had 11 grandchildren. 3 of them are dead. 3 grandsons I lost to drugs. I was present at each one of my grandchildren's birth, all of them. I watched being born. I never thought I'd see any of them die before me. I would never wish that on anybody.
I believe the solution to this problem is we as parents and guardians need to set an example and lead it by example in showing our children a positive, healthy way to live, and bringing our children back to ceremonies and back to the circle and learn how to dance, learn how to sing, learn how to bead, learn how to weave, learn how to do quill work. All of these things are who we are as Menominee people. If we can bring our children back to that circle, back to that drum, back to that water, and back to those ceremonies, their spirits are closer in connection with the Creator. The more members that we have living this way of life helps us as Menominees live on into the future.
I truly believe that also an area that's going to help us recover from this epidemic is education.
But today I want you to know that whether you're doing it, whether you're thinking about doing it, whether you don't want to do it, I brought some people that can talk to you, right? So I brought Joseph Green from Washington, D.C. I brought Jessie from the Start Healing Foundation. She's going to talk to you about the oat boxes and Narcan. And I brought Jason here from, he's the one, his foundation bought the oat boxes. And they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, their stories, and Narcan.
Okay, so Narcan will revive someone after they've overdosed on a narcotic, opioid, heroin, fentanyl. And so we like to go around and at least train you guys quick on this. Has anyone seen this box before in your community? Yeah, okay.
The one question I ask folks is like, what do you like about living on a reservation? Like, what's special about living here? May I ask you what it is?
I feel like I know a lot more people here.
So it's about the community. That's what's up.
Feels like everyone is family.
Yeah.
Even if they're not blood related.
It's just, I don't know, it's just home. You know, this is where all of our people are.
The opposite of addiction isn't sobriety. Sobriety is something that we need to stay strong in what is the opposite of addiction, but the opposite of addiction is connection. When we become unaddicted to things that are not good for us, we can then put into our lives things that are good for us. We can get back to our traditions. We can get back to the things that make us happy. We can paint more. We can dance more. We can be with our families more. We can go on drives more. What would you like? We can go on walks more. Can I get a high five? Can I get a high five?
I think we have a real potential, my generation, to help this younger generation not fall into the same issues and problems that I fell into and that so many people have fallen into. So if we can be honest with them about what's going on and not do what we did with my brother, which I think if you look back to anybody who's close to our family, you'd all realize that we should have raised our hand, we should have asked for more help. My goal with myself, my kids, my friends, their kids, is to make sure you're having those conversations.
I'm gonna do something my wife told me not to do, which is to go off of my speech. So what I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna pass this card around. This is really important to me, guys. This is a funeral card from my brother's funeral. I took this the moment I got to the funeral home, and it goes with me everywhere I go. So I'm gonna start over here. I want you guys just to look at it, look at the back, read it, just kind of absorb it.
I don't think drugs and alcohol are the problem. They are a problem, but they're not the problem. When I stopped doing drugs and alcohol, I realized that I had several untreated mental illnesses, that I was trying to medicate myself by doing drugs and alcohol. When I stopped doing drugs and alcohol, I realized that I had several traumatic events from my youth that I had never faced, that I'd never tried to work through, and that were causing me to act in a way that was not in sync with who I wanted to be or who I thought I was.
42 years ago, I was an alcoholic from the age of about 16. And I've said this at many general council meetings, is that we have an aftercare house, because a lot of people are so, including some of my relatives, were so happy to have got sobriety, come back, and they relapse because they're back with the same friends, the same home that hasn't been in recovery, and they're missing that connection. We need a place of aftercare. My home has been open almost 24 hours a day for the past 40-some years for people to come to. I've taken in numerous foster children, my husband and I, and many people that were in recovery lived with us throughout our time of marriage of 42 years.
My brother dying gave me purpose in life. And that's a really hard pill to swallow because I lost one of my best friends, and it has allowed me to be somebody I never saw before. And so I guess a really long-winded way of saying I think he's really, really proud of the work that we're doing. But what I do have the ability to do is talk in a room of strangers and be okay with myself and my own skin and be okay telling his story, because as long as I say his name, his memory won't die.
I'm very honored and I'm proud of my heritage. I love to be a Native American. I love the community. I love the families. I love what we represent. For me, that's what it is. I love the Native children. I love the families.
What I love about being on the Menominee Reservation is that everyone feels like family. It doesn't really matter where I go or what event that I'm at, it just feels comforting. The kids feel like family to me.
I would like to thank my grandmother. We've been through a lot together. And I always know that no matter what happens, she will always be by my side. And I just love her to pieces. And I wish for the best for her.
We represent resiliency. For years, we were the first peoples here, and we are still here, and we're still moving forward.
I love being on the original homelands of my ancestors. I love being in the woods and the connection I have to the trees, lakes, the rivers, and to all of my family and friends here in Menominee.